In today's LEGO City update, I'm going to be working on fixing up a gate for my train crossing here, because as you can see, there isn't one and it's not very safe. We don't want any cars or people to accidentally get hit by a train, because that would not be good. So here is one from an official LEGO City set, the last train station set. This is the crossing that comes with it. You get two of them. And, well, it's a bit basic. It works, but I was hoping to do something a bit more creative, a bit more traditional for something you'd find here in the UK, and I was just working on a few different things because I want to use these ladder pieces. You know, they're white, they're like perfect almost. So I've got two different styles here, and yeah, you know, both of them could work. I want to use these ones. I don't know, it's just slightly different. I like having the studs just showing on it. I don't know, but if it comes to it and I have to use these ones, then so be it. But I'm having a hard time trying to find out a way how I can connect the ladder to also having the striped bar here, because, well, that's kind of part of the whole look, isn't it? It's like that. And I've tried a few different things, a few different ways, working with the parts I have of my Technic pieces, because that's what I kind of need, a few different Technic things to connect these together. And I don't have the right parts that I need, so even working with what I've got hasn't been successful so far. I did have a quick look on Rebrickable, and I've seen a few designs by other people, which I might take some inspiration from and make some twists for myself. So this one in particular, I think it's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to go through the parts, see what I've already got, see what I need to buy, and hopefully it won't cost me too much because, oh, money is tight. Next up, I'm going to make this train buffer stop by Brick Assembly here on Rebrickable. Yeah, there was a few different ones on here, and I quite like this one. Train buffers complete. A little bit of a delicate, fragile build, but once they're locked in onto the track, it shouldn't be too bad. Although I might have to take up some of the ballast thing that I just put down to pop these in place. Obviously, I'm only putting one down for now, and I'll save the other one later on, but it's good to have it. I've adjusted that Rebrickable mock design just slightly for my own liking, just so that the buffers from the actual train lines up with these a bit better, and it just sits a bit lower than the actual official design, but now it's a bit more flimsy, although it's not really going to go anywhere, so that's okay. But since it's black and the track is black, it is kind of blending in a little bit. Hopefully it won't be too bad though, but yeah, that's all right. So with the train buffer stop complete, the track ballast complete, the anti-trespass wooden things complete, it's time for the main crossing gate. And time for me to dig through all these parts. And once again, I think this is the design I'm going to use. I might modify it to fit my needs once I finish building it, but for now, I will do this one. And it's by Mimi68 on Rebrickable, and the instructions for it are free, so that's great. So I've just built one of them at the moment, and I'm not completely happy. I mean, it looks great, but, well, I mean, I say it looks great. Unless there's something wrong with the part inventory or something, or the part, I'm not sure, because, well, there's just no friction in any of it, and, you know, this doesn't hold up the weight, and it's only supported here, and then this spins freely, and this spins, you know, that's not supposed to move. So I might have to see what I can do, because I'm not too happy with it. I've swapped out a few Technic parts and tried a different connection for the base, which is a lot more sturdy, doesn't swing side to side, and I have temporarily swapped out the beam here and put like a little, well, rest on it, which was actually part of the 1 LEGO City set, so the beam doesn't slope down because it's so heavy and nothing to support it. So I thought, okay, right, what about a brick here and put the axle in through that? Oh, I knocked it off. The trouble is that it can't open up all the way now. And these things are still so delicate. So it looks like it's mostly just for looks. Which is fine, because in my LEGO City everything is static. So I guess I don't need it to be up, especially since if I have a train here, which I probably will, and the train will be longer than this, so the barrier will always be down. But yeah, I don't know, it might be nice. But if this is the way it has to be, then that's the way it has to be. I've figured it out, well, sort of. This bit here is just essentially part of the mechanism, so you can lift it up and down a bit more easier. It's, you know, a nice big piece to hold on to, but you don't actually need it. Now I've taken it out, I can use these ones here, which were still on it, and it opens up just how it did before, and there's enough clearance. So I think this might be the design I use. The only thing I haven't figured out is how to attach the ladders, because I'm currently using the axle connectors. Even if I did use the pin connectors, I might have to, well, yeah, that's kind of based off the original design, but for some reason when I use two of these modified plates with the pin connection hole, that the spacing doesn't quite work out. So I'm thinking what I could do is just make do with the fact there's a slight gap, But reinforce these parts here, even though they've got Technic pins through them, with a bar or a piece of flex tube, so it's just a bit more stable. And let's see how that works, because I've got a few different size of ladders. I've got, I think this one is 14 studs long, and then I've got one that's 16 studs long. I might be the other way around, actually. Oh yeah, this one's 16 studs long, that one's 14, and then these are the ones I wanted to use originally. They're 16 studs long as well, slightly different styles, so we'll see what works best. But I'm glad I got that figured out, and hey, at least this design is a bit more my own now that I've changed it, so it's not completely someone else's. I've gone back to the original design for the fence ladder thing, but I don't get it. What am I doing wrong? I followed the instructions. This is just sagging like crazy, and then this wants to twist. I don't like that. And I want to have the ladder piece, but I don't know how else to attach it. So if you know, tell me in the comments. Otherwise, maybe I'm missing something really obvious, but otherwise I'll just have to do without it with this other style that I've come up with, and that works, but I wanted to use the ladder. Okay, so the blame doesn't entirely lie with me, because the parts inventory said to use this 3-long Technic pin, which was frictionless, which explained why everything kept flopping around. So I had a look and I thought, oh, wait a minute, yeah, get one with friction ridges. And I had a look and I had one, and well, that solved that problem, so that's not spinning around now, and I don't think I need to support it at the end, so maybe I can do this method after all. That is, if I manage to find at least one more of those correct Technic pins, so I don't need those like the instructions told me. Well, it took a lot longer than I expected it to, but I finally figured it out, and yeah, they look good. I'm happy, and they lift up and down, and it doesn't sag too much in the middle. Yeah, so I'll pop them in place. Although the only thing is, since they're going to be facing away from us, we're not really going to see it that often because of the, you know, camera angles and everything. But I just wanted it done, and you know, to know it's there in the city. And like I said, eventually when the city expands this way anyway, I'll make more of them, and then they'll be on this side, so we'll see them as well. But yeah, they look good. I'm happy. Yeah, now I've just got to tidy up all the mess. And I've got all the parts for the second pair ready to go later on, so I need to add that into my layout. And I've kept the original ones just in case. I think I might use these for my Winter Village layout. It's a little bit more simpler, so that might work well. And for the lights, I know it's kind of a bit more, maybe, well, not traditional British style. And I did make something that looks a bit more common around a UK level crossing, but I feel like they're a little bit small, especially compared to the rest of everything else. So I might pair these up with these ones or something. Yeah, I don't know, but I think they look good. They look like the real thing, but it's just a bit too small for the scale. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with it. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out the other videos on this channel or on one of my other channels as well. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends.